let's try something new today. And it's gonna be commentary of first few new missions in the Rogue Arc3. I was playing those missions for a while, and what you're gonna see on the screen is just a speed up of what's going on, and this is the beginning of the mission. So we have Mudd's daughter, Raw, don't know how to pronounce her name, and she's for all of you who don't know how the Star Trek Fleet Command game works, you can you can have a taste of it here right now. So we have a different type of missions here. Whenever you're going to be starting, if you would like to start to play this game, you're going to be starting from level 1. And with the level 1, you're gonna have a lot of those missions, and as you progress, more of missions gonna be revealed. The other thing that's happening here is, like, every month the developers are releasing some new content. And as you can see, we have some story writing here, some things like it's not just like simple killing rats and doing things like that. Besides, of course, when you are playing this game, those kind of things are happening. Those missions which you can see right here, it's some sort of storytelling here. And if you want to think about what kind of missions you can have, basically, as you can see, it's either like every mission is split into some smaller parts. Those smaller parts are either you just have to go from a place to place with your ship, or you just have to kill some maybe some like a boss somewhere there, or it's just like you simply need to kill some rats, and that's basically what's around those missions. I don't recall seeing any other missions beside those. Yeah, basically that's how it goes. And this movie is like 30 minutes long, so whenever you haven't played this game, or maybe in the future you would like to come back and see the storyline of this Arc3 first few missions, you can find it there. I'm speeding up the moments where like there is no storyline. So for example, right now, you know, it's just like you need to kill 10 hostiles to progress in the missions. So this is generally how it goes. And in this arc, some new characters were introduced, and some new officers in the game were introduced. So basically, by playing this arc, especially Arc3, it's all about, you know, doing some also like a few days missions to get the shards of those officers. Those officers introduce some kind of new mechanics into the game, or they actually allow you to achieve something else compared to the officers you had already. Although from what I've been checking on those officers, nothing fancy there, and as long as somebody won't figure it out that there's some crazy connection with those new officers, with some old officers, or I don't know, anything else, it's just like this. It's just not new content, it's just new officers. So as you can see, the storyline goes, and basically we are somewhere close to finish the first mission there. And again, the next mission, you just like as I told you before, you just go somewhere. You just need to kill the golden boss. Of course, if you start the game, if you progress the game, killing those bosses is gonna be kind of difficult for you. So it's gonna be more entertaining for you, most probably, because you know you're gonna be progressing your officers, you're gonna be progressing your ships, upgrading them, becoming better, getting some other upgrades. So maybe at some point of time you're gonna be like at a point where you cannot kill a boss, or maybe you cannot kill some rats, but after a while, after doing, I don't know, a few days, dailies and things like that, you're just gonna get some new upgrades. You just gonna get maybe upgrades to your ship, and you're gonna progress with those missions. And of course, I'm talking about the missions which are there in the game all the time, because for the missions that are being released every month, after the arc ends, those missions, at least for now, are not available anymore. But also, if you're like a 20 or 30 level player and you want to progress through those missions, they might be kind of difficult for you. So it's not like you're gonna take one ship, do them all in a straight line and not being even damaged. Like it happens for the players who are like a 30, 36, 40 or higher. Those missions seems to be targeted at players around 20, maybe to 30, where they're supposed to represent some sort of difficulty for them. Yeah, and the storyline progress, and we have in this Arc3 you have a Khan, we have a Mudd. They are like working together because Khan daughter was abandoned. Like not Khan daughter, sorry, Khan sister. Khan sister Navi was kidnapped, and she's like being taken to prison somewhere. And yeah, the whole idea about it is just to rescue her. And they can just team up with Mudd, and they are going to those exchange systems, and this is more or less what the storyline is all about. Beside that, on those speed ups, you might see from time to time that I'm doing also other things. So for example, opening chests. You have different kind of chests, so you have like a 10 minutes chest, you can open it every 10 minutes. You have an 4 hours chest, and you have a 24 or 22 hours chest. They, especially when you start playing the game, they give you some small advantage. They give you some set of materials and things like that. Beside that, what you're gonna be doing daily, if you join an alliance, you're gonna be like helping your alliance to progress with their research or buildings, or ship buildings or ship scrappings. So that's also something which you see from time to time when there are those hands on the right hand side of the screen. I'm just clicking them and helping my alliance, and this helps like speed ups every person that helps you with your building or research. It's like a 1 minute speed up or something like that. So if you are in a big alliance, you can get 60 minutes of speed ups more or less. So it's really helpful. Beside that, I'm of course using my other ships which are not doing the missions right now to mine G3 materials, because although I am like 41 level player, I still need those G3 materials. I still need them to upgrade, to do some upgrades, to upgrade my G3 epic ships. So they are pretty useful, even now, where most of you would say, well, you should mine 4 stars. So I don't, because I do not have many upgrades that requires 4 stars, but I have a lot of upgrades and a lot of things to do with 3-star materials. And that's also part of the game. I mean, like I think at level 10 you already start to mine those materials, and then you use refinery to get better materials from them, and you use those better materials to do the ship upgrades, base buildings and things like that. So the story goes, I was also trying to check the packs that are available. You know, you can like I guess as like in any current mobile phone game, you just can speed up your progress in the game, so you can spend the money, and the biggest packs are like $100 or like 100 euros, so to say. The small packs are around like $20 or something. So sometimes, like for example with this arc, you just get bonus rewards for doing missions or doing daily events by buying $20 packs, which is kind of cool because those bonus materials are pretty damn good, and they allow you to progress faster. So even like on level 41, where I need few billion still to upgrade my buildings, I can get enough through the whole like 1 month arc to maybe upgrade 2 buildings, which is not bad. And meanwhile, yeah, the storyline goes, so we have all those new characters like Mudd, Tiza, Ro, and some others. So generally the Eclipse introduced some new targets, and they are called by community MuddMadas. Well, to like make a difference from normal armadas. There's a lot of talk in the community how you should attack them, and that's actually really interesting part of this game, the community itself. I mean, this is the Star Trek game, and as a Star Trek game, there are a lot of physics and mathematics into it. So for example, if you have a target which you can attack with 5 people from your alliance, or if 6 people or 4 or whatever, I just need to turn off the voice in my phone, I guess. So there is a lot of mathematics behind it. So how to approach such target, what crew you need, what kind of ships you need, how the rewards gonna be split among the players. And with the community, there are a lot of people who are crazy about math. They are crazy about collecting data in the Excel spreadsheets and things like that, and they are like comparing and checking, proving some theories. What is the best way to approach those targets? And this is, I must say, this is amazing part of this game. Meanwhile, yeah, the story goes, and we are attacking yet another golden target. So going back to the community, there are a lot of content creators. They are releasing all these kind of tips for you guys, how to play better, what kind of crew you need, what kind of ships you need, how to progress, how to level up, how to mine, how to attack reds, how to do PvP, but also when this kind of event starts, how to approach those new targets. And for example, with this one, there is still like I think there are some people like Ultimate DJ who runs the Talking Track podcast, and this guy is a really mathematical freak with some friends of him from his server and other servers who are supporting him. I guess I was watching the last podcast, and I think he has a point there, because if it goes to those MuddMadas, there are 2 things. One thing is, if you want to score the points for your alliance, then you should do it with the biggest group that you can, because then everybody score the points. But if you don't, or if all of your alliance members already scored enough to progress, there is this other part where the mathematics behind those new armadas is different comparing to normal ones. So it's not really beneficial for some players to go in a 5 or 6 people armada, MuddMada. So let's start with this. If you can solo, let's say 27 or 29 uncommon armada, and you can get like 1,000 or 2,000 or maybe 3,000 exchange loot from it, then to be able to get this similar exchange loot from a group armada, you would need to group with like maybe 5 people, and each of those people would need to run 1 armada. So you need to run 5 armadas, and you need to run armadas that are like 1 or 2 levels higher than the one that you can do solo. And yeah, if you take only that part into your equation, that should work. But with those new armadas, especially if you are using those fancy Stellas, there is another part in that equation, and it's a part of this part is all about the upgrades. And if you do armada with a bunch of your friends, the rewards are being split, and the rewards are being split according to the damage that you dealt. So let's assume that you have a 5 people armada, and you have one guy whose Stella is crazy upgraded, and maybe it's like tier 2, and you have other 4 guys who have Stella's tier 4s, but they have no upgrades. So basically that person who has a tons of upgrades gonna do a ton of damage and gonna get most of the points. And if you are the weakest player in that set, even if you all together run those 5 armadas, I'm pretty damn sure that the amount of rewards you're gonna get from those armadas is gonna be less if comparing to if you do the solo. So, and this is also the mathematic that was proven by DJ and some other guys by collecting data. Now you have now there is a problem, because on one hand side you would like to be in alliance and doing things with other people, and they can tell you that you are selfish if you are doing it for your own. On the other hand side, doing them this way allows you to upgrade your Stella faster, because those exchange loots then you're gonna use in the faction store to exchange to some other really important stuff, and those stuff you're gonna use to upgrade your Stella. So on the one hand side, it's being selfish. On the other hand side, if you are this small player, free-to-play player maybe, and you just started upgrading your Stella, and you have some of those Armada directives to run them, it's just logical to do it that way, because if you don't, you're gonna be all the time behind. You're gonna use your Armada directives to boost other players and to get less rewards on your side. And honestly, maybe I'm selfish, but I think you should mix especially if you are a low-level player, you should mix your decisions. So you should do some solos to make your Stella progress faster. And then when you're gonna catch up with those bigger players, of course you can start doing them in the groups, and then you're gonna get the same size pie, part of the pie. Or on the other hand side, during this time, the other players gonna level up and upgrade their ships and upgrades even more. So yes, this is kind of tricky thing. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to progress your Stella faster, I would suggest outside of the events where you need to score points for the whole alliance, do those Armadas solo and try to figure out which is the biggest target that you can solo hit and still live through, because this is gonna, and use your Stella of course, because this is gonna give you the biggest amount of exchange loot, and this exchange loot then you can exchange to other stuff. But if you are a strong player, of course you're gonna benefit from being part in Armadas of a lower level players, because you're gonna get more loot out of it. Going back, that was short off top from the gameplay itself. As you can see, the storyline goes on, and we see all the time the same crew. We just get through some missions, and when we finish one mission, the next mission pop up. So it's again like go to place, kill some reds, maybe kill 1 or 2 or 3 golden targets, and then again go to place, and just the progress. Actually like the storyline. It's not that bad. Maybe because I'm a big fan of Borg, which was like the event that was happening 3 months ago, I guess. It's already 3 months. And it was also happening for 3 months. It also had the 3 arcs. The Borg storyline was for me a little bit better. This one is also not that bad, but yeah, I was thinking to read those dialogues to you, but I guess I'm not that good in role playing and doing voiceovers. So you can just read through it if the storyline is interesting for you. But if not, you can all the time see the game progress in the background. The funny thing is, because I was speeding up the travel time from place to place, or like killing reds time. So yeah, this video is gonna be like around 30 minutes. Kind of long one, especially compared to my previous videos, but it's gonna take around 30 minutes. So this is I think it took me like 4 or 5 hours to finish all those missions, even though I was doing them one after the other. So if you add up all the travel time from system to system, if you add up all the time you need to kill some reds, and sometimes you just have to go to another system, because in the system where the mission starts and tells you to kill reds, there are not enough particular level reds, because everybody are hunting them in that system. Then you're gonna have to go to the other system, then you have to kill some reds, then you have to come back and progress your mission. So it takes a lot of time when they release those new narratives, those new missions. On the other hand side, if it goes to gameplay, there are other activities in the game. So they are activities such as mining activities, so you just have to mine enough materials to get some rewards. You have to kill some reds to get some rewards, and the higher level you go, the more you need to kill, or the higher level you need to kill, or there are more like you need to kill the reds in maybe 2 or 3 factions and things like that. So just buy that, and then there is those Borg systems right now where you're gonna go and collect some Borg nanoprobes or kill some Borg nanoprobes to collect some Borg materials and then exchange them in refinery. there are a lot of activities which, when you progress the game and when you want to keep progressing or when you want to keep weekly progressing, you have to do every day. Those activities takes a lot of time, I would say. A few hours, if not more, depending on how many you want to do and what level you are, of course. It's kind of game where you just let me turn on the night mode so my phone doesn't bzz anymore. So there are a lot of those kind of activities, and if you add to that new missions, which is yet another set of activities, and there are also like daily events. So for example, you want to upgrade your ship, or you want to upgrade your officers, or you want to kill yet another set of reds, maybe some big level reds or whatever. Reds are the NPCs, like those red targets, which are just the targets which you use to progress, or like for example get some loot, or for example get some XP for your ship. So there is a lot of things happening in this game. I remember when I started playing the game 2 years ago, maybe not 2 years, a little bit less, but more or less 2 years ago. The content, there were not so many things to do. And of course, progressing as a player who started was taking much more time comparing to how fast you can progress right now. Because if you start playing this game within a few days, I mean really few days, if you like have a time and if you can spare a weekend for this game, within a few days you can get to level 10, 15, maybe 20, and there the fun starts, because then you can ride the bases, like steal some materials from other players and things like that. So this is the game where if you want to play it and if you want to succeed in it, and you need to spend some time, and you need to spend at least few hours a day and every day. So think about it before you start, because it's highly addictive, and after a while of playing, you just I mean, at least me wanted to just progress, to be better, to get better ships, because while you progress with your level, you get access to different set of ships, and at some point where you are like 34, I guess, you can get Enterprise, which is a big milestone. I guess the best ship in the game if it goes to three star ships. There are of course 4-star ships, but this is mostly for the players who do not have don't have anything else to do with their money. Those are the ships which you just cannot get by playing free to play. You just cannot get, even if you went to like 30 or 41, you just cannot get those ships by not investing money in the game. So maybe in the future that's gonna change, because it used to be like that with the like 3-star ships back in the days, where they were the top which you could get, because like from time to time, I think every half year, the developers are releasing new content to allow people to get to the higher levels as players. And I remember when the higher level that you could achieve was 40, I guess, and right now it's 15, so it's also progressing. But there is not enough content for those high level players to allow them to get this kind of ships. So if you are starting to play the game, you're gonna have a lot of fun, you're gonna have a lot of missions, you're gonna have a lot of chance to progress. If you are already high level player, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean, how it is to struggle. Although it's like, it's still not that bad, because with this arc that started a few days ago, developers actually introduce in the daily events the materials that are required for those 4-star ships to upgrade or to build. So for example, every day I can get some materials to upgrade my jellyfish, which is a pretty decent like transitional ship, and I'm also collecting materials for the future when I'm gonna build some other 4-star ships, when I'm gonna get enough tokens to get them, or actually enough faction credits to exchange them for the ship blueprints. Alright, and in the background you still see those missions going, again, killing some goals, progressing with the storyline, and then maybe going somewhere, and then maybe killing some reds. At this point, if I can, because I'm like I recorded yesterday, cut it through all those parts where you just have to go from place to place, and then you just leaving the storyline to, if any one of you want to read it, you can do it on the screen. I'm just checking where we are right now. Yeah. Alright, so we have this Eurydice part. And yeah, we have to rescue somebody again. Because we have this Avix character which came to this system from somewhere else with a really fast ship, and I guess it's relating to Stella, I guess, maybe, because Stella is a pretty fast ship, especially with some upgrades. I don't quite remember the storyline from the Arc3, so maybe I'm mixing something here, but generally this is how it looks. You just get a bunch of people. They are not always having the same idea how to progress, so they are maybe competing with each other. They have different opinions, but generally at some point they all end up together, like and you are as a player, you are using your ship to progress through those missions. One more type of missions which is there that you can find is when you have to make a decision what to do, and I don't quite recall if there was a such mission during this set of missions. I think not. But then you get this screen which gonna tell you, do you want to do this, or maybe do you want to do that? And honestly, it doesn't matter that much which part you're gonna choose, but when you're gonna click, there is this kind of a rewards button, and you're gonna see what kind of rewards each of this the decision allows you to take. That's most probably gonna be the thing which you're gonna relate your decision on, because maybe you're gonna need some more speed ups, or maybe you're gonna need some more like uncommon crystal materials or whatever. This is the way the decisions are being made. So there are all these kind of missions where you can make a decision, but at the end it doesn't impact the storyline. Beside when there was this mirror storyline where you could actually have a different paths. So if you watch Black Mirror Bandersnatch, I think it's a Bandersnatch, the title. It was the same type of movie where you could choose what your character is gonna do, and it was relating to what was happening on the screen in the future. And this movie had a different endings. So with the mirror missions, it was the same, but like with normal missions or with those arc missions, it's not that way. Honestly, I would like to see more of this kind of things in the game. I mean, of course, it would require from developers to introduce some different storylines, some different ideas. But for example, if by making a particular decisions, you could actually impact the rewards which you're gonna get at the end of the arc or at the end of the set of the missions. And if you make a bad decision, you're gonna end up with some, I don't know, maybe even with nothing. And if you're gonna end up if you're gonna make a different decision, you might end up with really nice reward. Maybe this kind of randomness in the game would be a cool idea. So if anybody from the school please watching this, I would say I'm gonna tag this part in the timeline or in the description on the video. That might be something cool. I mean, it would require more work, because it would require for developers, for the storyline writers, to write those different paths, but yeah, take a look at it, guys. I mean, that might be a cool idea to think about, because the mirror part was pretty nice. The funny thing with the mirror was also that if you spend some money, you could like get through all those missions doing all the possible paths, so you could discover all the endings that you simply could go. Or I think the ending was actually there was only one ending more or less, but all the paths that was leading to that ending was different paths with different rewards. So kind of nice idea to look at it again. And yeah, well, what else about the storyline? So I guess we are already, it's like 30 minutes or something. We are pretty damn close to end of those set of missions. And with those arcs, in the past it was like you were able to get all the missions straight away, and you were just progressing through of them, and that was leading to a lot of hassle in the systems, because for example there was like dozens or hundreds of ships appearing in one system because everybody wanted to progress. Right now there is this battle pass section, so you actually need to do some dailies, you need to progress, you need to get some tokens to be able to get the first set of mission, and then you just need to progress through the dailies again to get the second set of missions. And I think that was a cool idea, because I don't see that many ships right now in the systems. The game become more playable thanks to that, because like you know, many ships in the system cause a lot of, you know, lags and delays on the servers. So that was a really nice way to solve the problem of lags without scaling the scope of the infrastructure and, like, you know, spending a lot of money for having more of the servers or things like that, or nodes on the servers. Alright, so we are almost at the end. We just met the conductor, a new face, a new person behind all the... This person is all behind all the exchange stuff. And we just learned that that person was also somehow pulling the strings behind the Borg arc, and is also pulling the strings behind some decisions in the Federation, because she or he, I think it's she, has some, you know, some agents in the Federation. And that's more or less, I think it's one of the last missions in this set of missions. So this is how it looks, right? You just go from place to place, you just kill some reds, you just kill some golds, then just go another again from place to place. Nothing less, nothing more, you know, takes time, but if you don't want to do it one day, you know, you can do those missions and progress like through a week. It doesn't matter how fast you do. The only thing that is worth to mention is, like, for example, with this Arc3, and I think it was also with Arc1 and Arc2, you have to finish all the missions before a set deadline, and it's like a 20 or 30 days deadline. It's like a whole arc timeline deadline to get some more rewards. So, for example, maybe some officer shards or maybe some good materials. So it's also like worth to finish those missions during the arc, so you can get those bonuses also. And of course, yeah, again, we are going from place to place, reading those Eclipse storylines. I guess there is the last mission we have to do. So right now the Eclipse were like chasing us to our base, and we have to stop them. Or they want to stop us. I don't remember exactly, because I was not reading while recording this. Yeah, actually Eclipse was tracking my ship to back to base, and right now there's gonna be another gold target we need to attack, and basically more or less this is gonna end somewhere here. From the timeline I can see in my computer, it's like there's gonna be one more submission which we're gonna speed up traveling from place to place, and then we're gonna end up. And I mean, that's okay, because for the like next 1 or 2 days, or actually I was recording it 3 days ago, but haven't got much time to record the voice and the camera for the narration. It's like every 5 days doing those missions, you know, during the weekend you have some time, or during every day you do 1 or 2 missions. It takes you like maybe 20 minutes or 40 minutes, and that's it. So you don't have to do all of them straight in line. Even I didn't do that, because I did some of them one evening, and then some of them the other evening. So that's more or less how it does. So this is the gameplay, and this is this more entertaining gameplay, because you get those new missions, you can read through this new narrative. Of course, there is also this more boring gameplay where you do your dailies, you do your daily events, you're just killing reds, you're just mining, you're just refining materials, you're just opening chests, you're just helping your alliance to speed up their researches and buildings. Those kind of things are repeatable, and these kind of things are just in I guess every mobile multiplayer, massive multiplayer game. they just allow you to progress, especially on the entry levels when you start the game. And yeah, we just came to the place where this storyline ends, so I was just checking if I didn't miss anything. And they're all just on the screen right now. You can see missions which are available for everybody, which are for now too difficult for me to finish. So for example, I need to go to the place where for my biggest ship, but for my best ship, my warplane range still does not allow me to get there. So there's yet another way of progress in this game. So you progress with your ships, you get the bigger warp range, so you can explore the world of the game more. Or there are targets which are too big for me to kill them right now. And this is yet the other way to kind of, limit you from finishing all the missions within a week. Because you just need to progress your ships, you need to upgrade your ships, you need to get access to better ships, and this is the only way that's gonna allow you to progress, right? So basically that's it. I hope those of you who were trying to figure out what this game is all about, I gave you some insight, I gave you some insight about the gameplay, I gave you some insights about the community itself, how the community works and what kind of things we are doing there, about the math behind the game, about some MuddMadas, which I'm gonna also tag in the description, so you can go there if you want to listen to it again. And yeah, if you came to this place, to this point of this video, I would like to ask you to click like, click subscribe, click the bell notification icon. I mean, by subscribing, you are like the subscription in YouTube won't send you thousands of emails in your email box. It's just a way of appreciating the content creator like me, and it's just a way to help this channel grow. Of course, if you click the bell notification icon, you're gonna start getting email notification that I released another movie. So if this content is nice for you, if you like this content, you're just gonna get the email whenever I'm gonna release the new movie on YouTube. And the like, again, more or less as a subscribe that allows the YouTube to score some videos better than the others. So I would appreciate if all of you could click like and subscribe, because I know from the statistics that not many people subscribes. And that's a kind of issue because like 80% of my viewers are not subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please, please, please. That's gonna help this channel to grow, and that's gonna help me to grow as a content creator. Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.